that, because I mean, I'll bet you $100 she's going to reset on Thursday.
And that's what I said. That's what I said. And she said, "Yeah." Okay.
Yeah.
And the audio is paused right now.
Okay, recording good. Okay. No, you can leave it unlocked.
He's here.
Nope.
I thought it was at 2.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it says 2
I'm
on
a
the
damn judge.
Oh, it's 2? All
That's
right.
why I was waiting at 2, but then I saw you up here like 5 minutes ago and I was waiting for Jimmy to get back.
I never even noticed that.
Yeah, so we're good for another 25 minutes. then.
Okay, I'll come back.
I'm not being ugly. I'm not being ugly. But I hope there's not 20 people on the screen. No offense.
I guess I should have stopped the recording on that. No, just kidding.
Okay, I'm gonna go see if there's any calls. Over there.
Yeah.
Hey, when are those cakes coming in?
Well,
12. I'm excited.
what is that? Somebody's in the waiting room?
Mhm. I think my poor baby has allergies. Bad. Like her paws are all red and inflamed.
That allergy medicine for that.
Well, we can take her back tomorrow.
Okay.
She's gonna get on there and say that they redid everything.
Is that your
Oh,
prediction?
I'm willing it into existence. I'm praying really hard.
It sounds like they're trying to go for $1,600.
Oh my God, we go take a loan. I'll fill it up.
I didn't check and see if the statute, I'm not recording yet, am I?
No,
The statute allows for attorney's fees, because it'll be one of these, okay, yeah, you get $1,600 and $10,000 of attorney. And now, will we just leave this going for the plea this afternoon? It's the same.
I would. If this doesn't go very long, then I would just end it and then we can restart it.
Okay.
But if it goes till, I go ahead and leave that.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing okay. I've got Leonard Thompson here at the table, across the table with me.
Okay. Hello, hello.
And then I've got, well, my client Rhonda Banks, or Louise Banks, and her daughter Rhonda are supposed to be logging on as well.
Okay.
Right at 2 o'clock, I think.
Sounds good.
Have y'all had a busy docket today?
Judge Steinhauser was here this morning, so we still try not to book a whole lot of stuff when he's here, right?
Okay.
It used to be we didn't want too many people in the courthouse. Now it's because we only got one computer that has a camera on it. So.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
And Happy New Year's, Joe.
You too. You too.
Let's see if I can-
That's all right, we can see it.
Okay,
We can
okay.
see it pretty well.
Okay.
You don't want to see this handsome face anyhow.
Ms. Vincent, when I'm looking at the Southwest Reporters that you have on the bookcase, are those old ones, or do you keep those up to date? Will you still get current ones every couple months?
Those are actually Charlie's, and they're old and they're not up to date or anything. They're just for decoration now. Yeah,
That's the way an attorney's office is supposed to look. So.
Yeah. I figure it makes me look professional. But yeah, he has Westlaw now.
You know, it's hard to tell. We've had so many Zoom hearings where people have books or something behind them. And a couple of times I've made a comment and then they say, oh yeah, it's not real. You know, it's just, it's a fake background.
Yeah, and I don't know how to do that. Yeah, my sister probably does. She's real tech savvy, but I am the opposite. I do not do technology at all. So I don't know how to do that.
And a lot of them I've noticed, not just books, but for any background like that, if the people start moving at all, you know, it kind of blurs out, you know, it doesn't,
Yeah,
it doesn't hold the background. So.
right. So it's better to just have a real one.
I think it is.
Yeah, I did a conference last, I guess that was last week. It was the 21st. It was through NALA, the National Elder Law Attorneys, and it was a whole bunch of people on the call, on the Zoom call, and then a lot of them had those different backgrounds in there. It was pretty cool, but it was interesting to see all the different people, what they were doing, and I'm thinking, why did you just turn your video off if you're gonna? I mean, one guy was just eating some oatmeal, and I just thought, well, I'm gonna probably turn my video off if I'm gonna do that.
Yeah, if he's just listening, you'd think you just turn it off. And that's, you know, kind of my take after doing this a while, is I think Zoom is great for a conference or something when you have a speaker and you just want a lot of people to kind of listen or maybe ask a question every once in a while. I think that's the best use of it right now.
Right. That is good. And it was great because I didn't have to leave my office to go to the conference. I could just, you know, hop on and listen. So instead of driving, I think it's normally in Galveston, so I would have had to drive to Galveston and, you know, wasted time on the road and stuff. So that was nice.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting to see how, you know, business and everything adapts, because my daughter-in-law is a executive in Geico, and Geico is sort of like, you know, almost like the military in the sense that if you really want to advance in the corporation, you know, you work one job here and then you're a manager here and then you're a supervisor here, and you kind of, but they want you to be in different offices. So she's kind of peaked out, and I don't know if he's a manager, supervisor, whatever her title is, but in normal times, her next step would be to relocate. And, you know, and they were already starting to look, you know, gee, are we going to go to Buffalo or St. Louis or Denver or wherever? But since the past year, they've been doing everything Zoom. She said Geico is kind of rethinking it that, okay, now you're in charge of the St. Louis office, but you don't have to go to St. Louis anymore. Now, you have all really the only thing that changes is you have a different, team under you. But yeah, and I suppose the next step is the team can all be in different places too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Wow. That's interesting though.
Yeah.
I think a lot of companies are kind of seeing that maybe they don't need to have the people right where they're at or whatever.
A lot's gonna change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Start building buildings now, I think, but they had office buildings, but I think there's a whole lot of stuff gonna stay in Zoom.
Right. And companies like Zoom are probably going to really do very well.
Yeah. Well, I kind of wondered, I asked somebody this the other day, was Zoom in place before COVID hit and just not being, because I'd never even heard of it before COVID hit, or did somebody just create it anticipating this is going to be a need when COVID hit? So, because I don't know.
I think it was in place before. It's just that it wasn't used as much. But I think my sister, she's the instructional technology person at Brenham High School, and or one of the ones over there, and she had used it before. And then some other stuff too, like maybe Microsoft Teams, or I don't remember what else she was using, but she was doing a couple of things already, when this hit. So thank goodness, because that probably would have been bad if they would have been just starting out, and then everybody would have had to learn how to do it.
Okay, it looks like Rhonda's going to get in. So who else do you anticipate being here, Ms. Vincent?
That should be it.
Okay. So as soon as, okay. Looks like she's connected. So are you ready to get started?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. You ready? Okay. All right. So this is cause number 18 PR 10373. Louise Banks versus the unknown heirs of Henderson Thompson. Yes, Ms. Vincent, if I can get you to announce.
Adrienne Vincent, attorney for the plaintiff Louise Banks.
And who do you have with you?
Ms. Lenore Thompson.
And then we also have Ruthie Thompson Chumbley. Okay. Who else do we have, Ms. Vincent?
I think we have Miss Louise Banks and Rhonda Banks, and I don't think Miss Chumley is there.
All right, so I guess Miss Rhonda Banks, are you there? Yes, and you're muted, Miss Banks. We'll get you to unmute.
Unmute, I'm sorry.
There you go, perfect. Okay, so I can get you to state your name for the record, please.
I'm Rhonda Banks, daughter-in-law of Louise Banks.
And who do you have with you?
I'm Louise Banks.
All right, so Ms. Vincent, who are you gonna have testify?
Probably just Miss Louise Banks.
Okay, all right, so Ms. Banks, if I can get you to raise your right hand, Ms. Louise Banks. Oops, there you go. So do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Everything I say is what I know.
Okay, very good.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so Ms. Vincent, you may proceed.
Well, Judge, I just kind of want to sum up kind of where we're at. At the last hearing, we had an order that was put into place, and we have now, I think, complied with the first requirement, which was we had an earnest money contract signed by all the parties, by Mr. Thompson, Leonard Thompson and all of the other parties. And then that was approved by the court. And so we've sent that over to the title company and they're just working up the title and we're waiting for them to get done and then to set a closing date. The other matter that was set for today was about the claims for reimbursement. And you had asked anyone who had a claim to have it filed before today. And that way we could discuss it today at the hearing. So we have a claim. I filed a motion to approve claim this morning, and it was for a claim that Louise Banks had, and she's asking for reimbursement for herself in the amount of $1,000, and then also reimbursement to Ruthie Chumley in the amount of $600 for payments that they had made for a survey. So if I could maybe go ahead and call Ms. Banks and ask her a few questions.
You may.
Okay. Would you please state your name?
Louise Banks, Thompson Banks.
And you are asking the court for a reimbursement of $1,000, is that correct?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and you're asking the court to reimburse Ruthie Thompson Chumley an amount of $600, is that correct?
Yes, I know about that because I took it.
Okay, and can you explain what this was for?
The appraisal,
No. What the 1,600 you had, what was that for?
appraisal,
No, survey.
I-
It's two different.
1,600.
That was for the survey. The appraisal was the 500.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, as I know.
The Strand Associates Incorporated, that was a surveyor, correct?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, and you had, you saw, I guess, Judge, this is a little bit hard on Zoom, but we have our exhibits A, B, and C that were attached to the motion. And I'm gonna refer to exhibit A now. Ms. Banks, you had an invoice from Strand Associates for some survey work, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you had paid $1,000 towards that survey work. You paid it to Mr. Thompson, Fred Thompson, and then he paid the surveyor. Is that correct?
Right.
Okay. And then Miss Chumley, she had paid $600 to Mr. Thompson, and then he paid the surveyor with that as well, right?
Right.
Okay. And the survey was not completed because that transaction did not go through. It was just canceled midway through, correct?
I don't know.
Well, okay, I guess that's why we're coming in. The
I tell you what,
survey
let's,
was
wait a second, Miss, yeah, let's let Louise Banks answer what she knows, and then if Miss Vincent wants to call somebody else, she can do that.
okay.
Well, I'll pass the witness and call Miss Rhonda Banks.
Okay, all right, so I guess we turn the camera toward Miss Rhonda Banks. And Ms. Banks, let me get you to raise your right hand. And do you solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You may proceed.
Miss Banks, would you state your full name?
Rhonda Justice Banks.
And you are aware of an invoice from Strand Associates Incorporated, is that correct?
Yes, I am.
And that invoice was for some survey work done on the property that's the subject of this suit, is that correct?
Yes.
And your mother-in-law has asked that she be reimbursed for $1,000 that she paid towards that survey cost, correct?
Correct.
And then there was another $600
Yes.
that you are aware of that Ms. Chumley paid, correct?
Yes.
And then you had forwarded me a check from a copy of a check that from Ruthie Chumley, is that correct?
Yes,
And that was, a copy of that check was filed with the motion that I filed today, is that correct?
correct.
And then a copy of the invoice from Strand Associates and also a copy of their ledger, which showed that the balance was paid, was filed with the motion, is that correct?
Correct.
And you are asking the court to reimburse Ms. Banks for $1,000 and Ms. Chumley for $600 for the amount of money that they had paid towards the survey. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you have anything else you would like to add?
Well, the what you was talking about in reference to the survey was done. The survey was done and completed, but what wound up happening was Fred Thompson didn't pay the full amount. So when I got involved, he wound up paying the full amount. That's how we were able to get a copy of the drawings and the survey report.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry, I misunderstood that. All right, well, I'll pass the witness.
All right. Did you want to offer any of those exhibits?
Oh, yes, I'd like to offer exhibit A, B, and C that I attached to my motion, if they could just be entered in the record.
All right, so exhibits A, B, and C are admitted.
Oh no. That's
Ms. Vincent, do you have anything else?
I think that's it, Your Honor. That was the only claim that hasn't been approved. I had filed my application for attorney's fees, and I believe that was approved already. So
Yes,
that was all that we had.
So, and is the plan for the $1,600, will that be paid, like another, cost kind of out of the gross sales price as opposed to coming out of anybody's share?
It just comes out of the gross, yes. What I was thinking was, we go to closing at the title company, they have all their normal closing costs itemized out on the settlement statement. And then the remaining amount gets deposited into the registry of the court. And then once that happens, I could file another motion that just kind of reiterates everything that's already been approved and itemizes that out, and then itemizes out the distribution for everybody, because we have a bunch of fractional interests. So I thought I would just do a motion to distribute the proceeds and itemize all those things out. And then we could get an order at that time.
But will the title company, they'll take the costs, the kind of the standard traditional costs, they'll take that out before it's deposited into the registry?
That's my understanding, yes.
Okay, that sounds good. Well, then I'll approve the motion and approve that claim for the $1,600. And do you have any closing date set?
We don't have one yet, Your Honor. We're still waiting on the title commitment to come back. And so it kind of in the beginning stages.
Okay. And, did the taxes get paid?
I don't know if they,
We're paying the taxes.
okay, so the taxes should
being
be,
paid.
okay, so they should be paid, but I'm sure the title company will pull that too.
Yeah, see what is, Judge, what happened, like I was saying, telling you in court, I had ag on the land. It was always ag on the land. And they sent the ag papers to the wrong address. They usually sent it to my address, but they sent it to my auntie. And then she didn't, I guess she didn't pay what it was. She didn't, it wasn't approved. So my taxes went up. So that, but I said it went all the way up because it took the ag off. But now it's set back. But I set a payment plan with them. I'm paying them that now. So it's all being paid.
Okay. I just know that if they weren't paid, a couple of days ago, the the cost went up, so I just wondered. All right. All right, so I'll approve your motion, Ms. Vincent.
Great, thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You're all excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
What a minute.
That was close enough to being all agreed to.
Mute myself.
Do we just log off now, Judge Leading?
Yes, you can just log off. We're all
Okay.
done.
All right,
Right.
thank you.
Sure thing.
Bye-bye. Wait a minute.